What we do here is go back.
Welcome back, noahwdatboi Nation. I'm coming to you here today with an epic story time. Okay, you don't understand how wild this is. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. Okay, that might not be true. Okay, it's just so wild to me. This happened a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago. Actually, no, like about 3 weeks ago. It's wild. My brain is spinning, okay? I had to get this out there. I had to show this to the world, to all of my millions of subscribers in the future, that is. There are not that many of you guys right now. Honestly, who am I talking to? Anyway, let's get this story time started. Alright, so, basically, 2021, I make this Instagram account, okay? It's, you don't understand. Okay, basically, I start posting on it, a couple jokes about my school, kinda harmless, an airplane flying across the school, landing on the football field, jokes like that. It's like, what? That's crazy. An airplane will never do that. Maybe a little harmless joke about, air striking it, not a big deal. Anyway, I kinda call this the name of my school, .irony, in reference to a couple accounts I've seen on Instagram, like Drake Irony, for example. They post a couple jokes about Drake, When the joke was popular, it's like, Drake's the type of guy to be like, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, a couple of my friends and I start posting on it because, I want them to get in on it, and I give them the account. I post the most on there. Other content on the account was like, screenshotting people's stories about fights at the school, or jokes about the food, or jokes about the staff, kinda harmless, could be seen as disrespectful. Wouldn't blame you if you saw it and said it was. But, that's neither here nor there. But, anyway, this goes on for a few months. Pretty harmless, most of the posts are not related to the school, but some of them are. And they're mostly just screenshots from other people. Some of them are original comments coming from me or my friends. Basically, after a while, the school it gets on the radar of the school. And they're not happy about this account. So, some pretty controversial things have been posted on there over the time that we've started, making such comments. And some of them include talking about an assault that happened, blah, blah, blah. A kid's not really getting properly punished. What are you going to do? Spread awareness. Some kids at my school posted about it. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do that too. And that was pretty much the last straw. So I get called to the office one day. One of the administrators, they start interrogating me without my parents there, without my legal team there. That's crazy. I don't even have a legal team, but, better call Saul. I wish I could have. Probably would have not gotten me any discipline. Anyway, this happens. I kind of have to, mention that my friends also have it. So they get called down too. And after a while, this is before I even get to eat lunch, and they're like, hey, have you eaten lunch yet? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, we'll bring you food. And I'm like, I guess, I'd rather get it myself, but I guess they'll bring me food. They didn't. Anyway, it's these two white guys, and they're like, they're grilling me. They're like, why'd you do it? This is malicious. Did it start off malicious? They have screenshots of everything, pretty much some students snitched on us. And over time, it went back and forth between being public and private. And it was public at the time, so they could pretty easily find it. And, they've been looking at the account for months at that point, or at least a few weeks of screenshotting all the posts on there. Pretty obsessed fan behavior, if you ask me, fan behavior for sure. And they're pretty mad that we posted, kind of calling out bad things at the school. They don't want any negative attention. And so that goes on this day, and, they pretty much decide to suspend me for 10 days, and the same punishment is given to two of my friends. That's pretty stupid, honestly, if you ask me. I'm like, we pretty much don't deserve that. And, they say it's bullying another student because the post said the student's full name. And, and then they also looked at other posts on the account, and they mentioned some teachers by name. And there was a picture of an administrator bent over, and there was a picture a junior took of him. And he said it was for Thanksgiving, and it was making a joke. And it was like, oh, I'm thankful because he's, thick as an MF. And basically, that was the joke. And they told my mom on the phone that we called an administrator fat on the account. First of all, I didn't even write that, and yeah, maybe we shouldn't have taken a picture of an administrator and put it on the page, but like, what are we gonna do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had no, ill intent. We were just goofing around. We were being silly little knuckleheads, horse players. We were just messing around on Instagram, social media, free speech. We were just making posts, and you know what? We had a few hundred followers. The people at school liked it, and they said that parents and students were calling in upset, complaining. And you know what? I don't think that they were complaining about what we posted. I think that if that happened, they were like, why are we going to school with, are my kids going to school with kids who have, assaulted people? And why are there fights going on, multiple fights a week? And they don't like that being called out. And I made a post on the Instagram story. It was a screenshot that the principal or whoever sent out to everybody, and it was talking about the fights or whatever, and I just said okay in kind of a dismissive tone, oh, this doesn't really fix anything. You're just saying that, it's not like you're gonna fix any of the fights, because that's pretty stupid for fights to keep happening like that. And you know what? I doubt that they get 10-day suspensions. I don't know their full consequences, but they probably do not get suspended for 10 days. And then, extra expulsion days, because I didn't even know this, but expulsion doesn't even necessarily mean for the rest of the year. It just means, for however long. It could be one extra day, it can be the rest of the school year. And yeah, that brings me to this. There's an expulsion hearing over Zoom. It's not like a meeting in the classroom or whatever with whoever. So basically, it was the assistant superintendent and one of the administrators. And basically, this is how it goes. Me and my parents are there. They're like, oh, this is Noah is a straight A and B student, and he hasn't been suspended before. He's a good guy. We want him to graduate. He's on track to graduate. And, it goes well. On the Zoom meeting for 30 minutes. Later that day, we get a call. It's from the superintendent, or whoever, I don't actually know. And basically, I get 11 extra days, and guess what that means? The last day of school is when I get to go back. I am I'm expelled from school into the last day, and the last day's prom. Wow, that's wild. I have to do school at the suspension place, and that's where I've been going. I have to go there for 10 days, and then I have to go to the suspension school for 11 extra days for expulsion. That's pretty crazy. And my two friends, one of them gets, I believe, 6 extra days, another one gets 5 extra days. And I don't think they deserve it, because they did not post the controversial things that I did. And yeah, that's pretty crazy. The school basically canceled me. The thumbnail's not clickbait. I got canceled. And it's because, not throwing any accusations out there, that's pretty racist of them. They're pretty racist because I'm not white. Snicker. 21 days in total. That's literally 3 weeks. Not counting weekends or any breaks like that. So yeah, definitely unfair of them to treat me like that, to do me dirty in the 4th quarter of my senior year of high school. Really? I am a 12th grader, and you're gonna ruin the last year of my high school career. The 4th quarter, yeah, I admit that I messed up. We posted some things we shouldn't have posted, specifically me, because I did most of the ruckus that they didn't like. And that's pretty annoying, honestly, because obviously my parents are upset. They're not really as upset with me as they are with the school. The unfair rules, same for my friends' parents. They are not happy with the school for that. The school has a long history of covering up for themselves. They don't want any negative attention, on the news, with their football players getting into any controversy. And yeah, basically the kids who have assaulted other students, they're football players. They care about the football team more than regular students. The football team. That's all schools, right? The football players, most important students. Flat out. That's pretty biased, honestly, if you ask me. If you ask anyone. I'm just doing this voice on the video, trying to make light of it. It's it's a silly little thing. I got a crazy punishment for making a meme page. It had to do with the school. It had the school's name in it. Yep, sue me. Arrest me even. Execute me. I can't believe I did this. Disrespectful, bullying, misuse of technology. What else did they put in the rules? They put a lot of broad shit out there, and I don't think it's a big deal. Nobody does. All the students, all the friends, parents, as I said, they don't think it's a big deal. But it's because they had to make an example out of us. They had to show all the students, hey, don't do this. And there's more accounts just like it that post even worse things. They bully students. You know, they post pictures of students' faces and stuff like that. Pfft, my account didn't do that, and I don't think they got caught because they did a better job at being anonymous. So that's, you know, they got that going for them. And other kids that tried to spread awareness, they get suspended and expulsion days too. Definitely not fair. This has happened to so many people just for posting about students that have actually hurt people at school. Like, really, they don't get crazy, you know, punishments, but people like that do. Definitely not fair, and they want to, you know, be all hypocritical and just basically saying nonsense to us about why we deserve the punishment. And it's so stupid, because I don't think that they represented the situation to the superintendent well at all, because the superintendent decided to give me 11 extra days. Why? They probably didn't explain it well to him, and I think that he just probably saw a picture of me, and he's pretty racist. You know, I think that calling people racist is funny, especially if it's a white dude in power, so that's funny. Yeah, crazy story, guys. I hope you guys liked this story time. You know, the video hit the 10-minute mark. That's wild. Like this video, subscribe, share it with all your friends. You know, free me, honestly. You know, put me back in there. I don't want to be expelled for the rest of the year. I don't have a problem with it. It's been fun. I just don't like that my parents are upset about it. Don't want to hurt their feelings like that. And I'm upset. I'm more so disappointed that my friends had to get punished like that. That's not fair for them. I just feel really bad. Definitely sucks out here. You know, I feel like some schools could be worse. You know, like kids getting hate crimes and stuff and not really doing it about it. But this is assault we're talking about. We can't spread awareness for that. Like, so many people posted it, but all of a sudden it gets posted on an account with the school's name in it, and it's a big deal because there's a few hundred followers. You know, that's, yeah, big, yeah, really. I don't, they just don't want negative attention drawn to themselves because they don't want to accept responsibility that they're doing things wrong. Like, that's not how you run a school. You don't just let people like that back into school. Like, people don't feel safe around them. There's multiple people like that. It's just dumb. I bet you guys agree. Thanks. I like people agreeing with me and validating me. Feel free to validate me in the comments. Yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. I know, I feel like I extended this outro here into an extra part of the story time just to throw my thoughts. But yeah, this is probably the end. I'm gonna stop recording right now.
What we do here is go back.